Alright, we are out on a bit of a ramble today. Got a heavy pack on, I'll tell you about that in a minute. And we're looking for a new site. And I think it's going to be a good time. Let's get it. So, why am I calling this a ramble? Well, because the spot that we're trying to get to, I've only been to one other time, and that was prior to the burn. It'll be a cool spot if it didn't get all burned up. So, we're gonna ramble around here. See how it looks, see if we can find it, see if it works. If it doesn't, we'll find somewhere else. This is pretty cool, check this out. That's some deer's rubbing tree. Looks like it's been that way for a while. So, probably gonna see some more wildlife this time because all around me out here is hunting. But you can't hunt in this area. So, fingers crossed we see some deer. The other downside to that is with all the activity around us, this area right here is probably going to be a little higher activity for bears. So, we'll just keep our eye out, try to be safe. But, I have seen some bear poop, so we'll just keep our eye out. I think we got to go this way. I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's a nice little game trail mashed down. It looks like something's been dragging from there right over to that other little pond. Now what in the world could do that, I wonder? If I'm not mistaken, I see our target right over there. Fingers crossed. Yep, this spot is even prettier than I remember it. This is gonna be awesome. Well, looks like somebody else has been doing some bushcrafting out here. Like their saw got burned up. Got some old pots and pans left. That one, well, they both got some bullet holes in them. Well, time to get out of this pack, if I can, and show you what I brought today. So, like I said, this is a heavy pack today, and there's a good reason for that. So this weekend we are doing a ground pounding overnighter, and we're going to do it with some Harbor Freight canvas tarps. Now I did a video where I tried to oil impregnate a tarp, and it just did not work. But I've had the same tarps hanging up at my traditional shelter for almost 2 years now. The things are still waterproof, I would say, and they're holding up great. I mean, they went through a couple hurricanes, and all I've ever had to do is go back out there and restake them. The grommets are still in good shape, nothing is pulling apart, so I don't have any problem camping with these tarps. I think they're going to be great. But today, I think we're going to try to do a tarp setup utilizing this big log here, kind of like someone else has done. It's starting to try to sprinkle. I hope we can get this thing set up before it does. We may have some sprinkles on and off, and it may rain tomorrow morning about 6 o'clock, or that's what the weatherman says anyway. So we're gonna have to jump on this and get this thing set up pretty quick, but I think it's gonna turn out pretty cool. Now the dominant wind is coming this direction. We're gonna try to keep that in mind because we're gonna clean that area out over there so we can have our fire. And yeah, I think we better go ahead and get this thing set up. All right, so I think I'm gonna set my tarp up over these two logs and utilize this inside as sort of my sleeping area. So we're gonna have to do the little dance in here, clean this place out some. I'm not so much worried about this grass because I've got a tarp that will go down over it. I just don't want to have any sticks poking me in the back. Now, this is the tarp I was talking about. I've had this one for a while. We use this when we camp inside the vehicle. And what we'll do is we'll fold this in half and lay it down inside, and it kind of smooths out any of the bumps in there, and it helps make for a more comfortable lay in the vehicle. But what we're going to do today is we're going to take one of these, we're going to lay it out on the ground like an envelope, and we'll put our air mattress on top of that with our wool blanket. We can throw the tarp and the wool blanket back over, should be good to go. So that's what we're going to do next. Now, like I said, that pack was heavy. This thing probably weighs 4 or 5 pounds at least. I've got 2 of those. Then I've got that big wool blanket, all my camera gear, food, just everything I need for this trip, a hatchet, and my Boreal 21 saw. So I would be willing to bet, I didn't weigh it out, but I would be willing to bet this pack is 45 pounds ish, at least, maybe a little more. These things are actually really good quality, and you can get them from Harbor Freight for about, well, this was, I think these are $24 right now. They have a bigger one that's a 8x10, which I have one of those also. The 8x10s are like $40, $45 or something like that, and then they've got a 10x12, which is like 65 bucks or something like that. But I've got 2 6x8s today, and I think that's going to be plenty for what we need out here. But I'm going to go ahead and get this thing laid out into an envelope shape. And then get us a bed made. Something like that. Okay. Now before we make the whole bed up, I'll use this as a guide to know exactly how big the shelter needs to be. And now we'll go ahead and set everything else up, and then when we're done with that, we'll do the air mattress and all that stuff. But let's get ourselves dried in first. So I brought some cotton rope because, I don't know, it just felt more appropriate for these tarps, for a tarp. set up. So I've got to make some tie outs. For that, I'm going to do a simple bowline on the end, and then I will cut some lengths of this stuff and just see what we can do. Voila. Now, I am aware that this looks like it should have been pretty simple to put together. Folks, I needed an engineering degree to get this thing put together. It's kind of funny. It's such an odd shape because the tree limb is a Y shape, so trying to get it to work out right was not the easiest thing. I got it, and I think it's going to be just fine. But I did have my one Tigress tent poles with me, and that works out pretty good. Made it just easier to be able to put it together. But yeah, that was not as easy as I kind of envisioned it in my mind putting it together. But now I got to try to get something together on that backside. I'm going to stack some logs. There's a bunch of downed burned logs around here. I'm going to gather up a bunch of those, stack them along that backside to try to break that wind coming through there. And I think we should be in pretty good shape. Completely full of carpenter ants, which they don't bite much. I mean, they don't sting you. They got little pinchers, so they'll calm down here in a few minutes and I won't have to worry about them at all. But I couldn't leave that log behind. I needed it. So on the search for more logs. Tell you, feels like I've been going since I got here. But it's been pretty cool. I've got this little thing set up now, and I'm pretty happy with it. I think it's going to turn out to be a pretty cool little shelter. But I'm finally at a point where I can kind of coast a little bit. I don't have to be quite so rushed. Need to set my chair up, get my fire going, and all that stuff. I don't need a big fire tonight. And as breezy as it is out here, I'm not going to build a big fire. But I'm going to build me a fire right over there. It should be pretty well safe from the wind. And got something cool I got for my chair that I want to show you guys. I think it's going to help me out a lot. But now I'm going to just chill for just a couple minutes. Right now it's almost 3 o'clock, and the sun sets at about 5 or 5:30ish in that area. It starts getting dark anyway. So we got a couple of hours before it's going to get dark. I have gathered up some firewood as I was finding limbs and stuff for this other. So I'm pretty good on firewood. Like I said, I don't need a whole bunch. And this hard oak that's out here, it burns for a long time. So that should be okay. I think I'm pretty good on that. I've got a freeze-dried meal for dinner tonight. I'm going to do the ReadyWise Outdoors Pro Adventure meal. The country-style chicken pot pie. I think that should be pretty good. Pretty simple, easy to do. And that's what I'm out here to do today. I wanted to do this. I wanted to focus on building a little shelter and stuff, and doing just a little bit of bushcrafting. Not a ton, but just a little bit of bushcrafting. And just get out here and have some fun. So it's a solo trip. I don't have to worry about whether anybody else is ready to eat or anybody else is ready to do anything. I can kind of just do everything on my own schedule. So we're coasting. Alright, so I think now we pretty well got our firewood situated. Next up, I'm going to have to try to run around here and find some water. I didn't bring a lot of water with me because I know there's water out here. And we got to try to round some up real quick. I did bring my water filter and my CNOC bag. So this is a prairie we're on right here. There may be some water back over in that area. I know we passed that water earlier, but that's a pretty good hike over there. But if we have to, we'll head over there and get some water. that's priority now, because we got to have some water to drink, plus we got to have some water to cook dinner with. So we got to do it before it gets dark. So as you can see back there behind me, I've got my Tuff Possum sit pad, the orange side set up, so I can easily see where my camp is. Everything over there is green. So I needed to be able to see where my camp was. So my idea is to search for water. I'm going to walk straight out this way, keep that in sight. If I don't find anything, I'll go back from there and head out a different direction. That's the plan anyway. So we're going to stick to it and find some water. Well guys, I'm not doing very good. I walked over, I found the water, no problem. As soon as I got there, the camera was dead. So I found water, I got water, and on the way back it started sprinkling, so I kind of booked it back over here, hoping that I could get the fire started and everything before it rained, but it just sprinkled for a few seconds and quit, which is good. So I've got water, so I can drink up the last of my little bit of water here. I can filter some more, but I'm about ready to kick back and relax now. I have been kind of going the whole time I've been here, which has been fun. Building this little thing here was pretty cool, but I'm ready to get this chair out now and kick back and relax, get this fire going. So I think it's time. Those sandhill cranes over there. So I got something I've been needing, because every time I sit in this chair, it digs its way down into the sand. So I got one of these little Trekology mats that hook to the feet, and hopefully that's going to keep it from digging down in the sand. We're going to find out. Now this is a Sportneer chair. It's a cheapie, so it doesn't fit exactly right, but I believe it'll work. I did try it at home to make sure it would actually go together, and it will. It just doesn't like to. Now there was a specific way that I did it. It had to be one direction or the other. I think it's this way, because it does not fit right, but it will fit if it's forced. Alright, so fits like that. It's supposed to keep it from digging down into the sand, so I don't know, we'll see. I know another thing too, I am ready to get these boots off. So yes, I have been wearing boots all day. I know, sounds crazy, but with it being hiking around out here in an area I didn't know, I wanted to go ahead and wear my boots. Plus it was kind of chilly this morning, and so I had to wear my pants, and that's just part of it, I guess. But I am ready now to go sans boots. Oh man, that feels so good. Let these puppies air out. Oh yeah, now we're talking. That, my friends, is relaxation. Alright, so I think that we're going to give one of these little fire plugs a try tonight. Just see how they do. Thank you. Supposed to break it up, fluff it up like that. I'm going to try to fluff it up some more. We got these at Georgia Bushcraft. They were in some of the goodie bags. So I got that fluffed up. I'm gonna try to see if we can get this thing started with a Ferro rod. See how it does. Yep. Yep, I'd have to say they work pretty doggone good. And I gotta tell you, it's so peaceful out here. I haven't heard a peep since I've been out here. And I'm absolutely loving it. Loving it. So quiet. I'm surprised that I haven't heard any gunshots. Must not have been a good day for hunting out there. I keep hearing something in the bushes back over in yonder, walking back and forth. I wonder if it's a deer. Time to get started making this dinner, I think. So, like I said, tonight we're doing the country style chicken pot pie. And it says it takes a cup and a half of boiling water, stir well, zipper closed, and let it stand for 7 to 10 minutes. Basic freeze-dried meal. So we need a cup and a half of hot water. So in here, I have just over 24 ounces. So a cup and a half, that's, let's see, 24 is 3 cups, right? 8 ounces and 8 ounces and 8 ounces, yes. So I need to take this thing down to 12 ounces. I love this thing, but it doesn't have any measurements in it. This is that Stanley Boil and Brew. It doesn't have any measurements. Alright, that'll work. Boy, we are starting to lose light fast. So when Sarah and I went to the outpost Oconee in Watkinsville, we picked up a couple of these hidden Woodsman possibles pouches, and I swapped all my stuff out over to this one, and Sarah got one too. And it's nice. The thing that I mean, I love the hidden Woodsman stuff, but the thing is, it's so expensive on the shipping that I don't do it. And they had these on sale up there. I didn't have to pay for shipping, and these things are pretty freaking sweet. So I got one, and I moved all my stuff over there, and maybe tomorrow morning I'll go through this thing and show you what all I've got in here, because I have changed some stuff and moved some stuff around. But one thing that I need out of here is my spare spoon. I have forgotten my long-handled spoon again. I don't know why I can't remember to bring that thing. But thank goodness I got my backup in my little hidden Woodsman possibles pouch. Now I can eat my dinner. I gotta say, this little pad that's under this chair is working out great. So this thing is not sinking in the dirt, and it has made it plumb simple for me to just be able to stand right up out of that chair, which is not usual for me when I sit in this chair, because it just pushes its way down in the ground. And so I'm really happy with that. That's a win. It didn't cost very much, and it doesn't weigh much. It's a really small little package, so I'm happy with that. Well, it just started sprinkling again, so I'm going to give it just a couple minutes and see what it's going to do. Hopefully it won't. Right now it's just little drops here and there, so hopefully it won't be a rain. We'll see. But while I'm waiting on that to kick off, looks like it's almost boiling anyway. I got some steam coming out of the lid. My wife got me some Jack Daniels to have my mixed drink with tonight, and I think I am going to enjoy it. I got my Dr. Pepper. This time it's the just the Dr. Pepper Zero. I already had a bottle of it, so I didn't go get the Diet Dr. Pepper. You know, I can tell the difference in the Dr. Pepper Zero and the Diet Dr. Pepper, and I like Diet Dr. Pepper better. But this is what I got. Well, it's kind of gotten a little heavier. It's not quite a, just a little drip every now and then now. So, got out the poncho. I safed everything up under there. And, I'm gonna make my dinner anyhow. That's how I do it. Alright, let's see. Yeah, that's really hot. Alright, it is 6:20 and it is pitch black out here. That is going to make for a long night, you know it. Typically I don't go to bed till 10:30 or so. That means I got 4 hours before I have to go to bed. It's going to be a long night. This chicken pot pie stuff doesn't feel like it has rehydrated enough yet, but we're gonna at least open it and stir it around. It's getting there. Right now it's chicken pot pie soup. I know better than to put the full amount that they say in there. I don't know why I did that, but we'll let it go for a few more minutes and see what happens. Ain't like I don't have the time. Yeah, it needs to rehydrate a little more. Tastes good though. Okay, so this thing has been soaking for about 30 minutes. Still not completely rehydrated, and it's still really soupy, but I'm hungry, so I'm gonna go ahead and eat it. Yeah, see, that piece of bread is still hard as can be. So this Ready Wise meal, although it tastes good, boy, it takes forever to rehydrate. Ain't that what it was, Ready Wise? I don't know. You know what I said earlier, I can't remember. So, just as I turned the camera off, I literally hit the button and turned it off. And this freaking deer blew at me right here in the edge of the bushes. So loud. I almost spilled my food all over me. Scared the crap out of me. I knew there was something walking back and forth over there, but I couldn't see it. And eventually it made its way over here, I guess. And once it kind of realized what was going on, it let everybody else know that, golly, it scared the life out of me. Oh well. At least I didn't spill my food. Well, the moon's been trying to pop out for about 30 minutes or so now, but the clouds are so thick up there it can't quite make it through. But it has lightened up a little bit out here. I swear it's been dark forever. It's about 8:30 now though. Just been sitting here playing a couple games on the phone and watching some YouTube videos and stuff like that to try to kill the time before I gotta go to bed. Kind of tough camping in the, you know, this time of year by yourself, because it just gets boring so fast. I mean, I love it. I love camping, but when you're out here by yourself, nothing to do, it gets dark at 5:30. It makes for a long night. Oh well. Still a good time. Well, we are down for the count now. I am ready to hit the sack. This is a pretty cool little shelter here. We'll see how I feel about it when the rain starts to come. But right now, I'm pretty happy with it. I'm gonna try to catch me some Z's before the rain starts. See you guys in the morning. Well, it is a beautiful morning out here. I'd like to say I slept really well last night, but I didn't, as is to be expected. I'm not really that big of a ground pounder. I prefer my hammock, you know that, but I slept as good last night as I ever do in a tent, so I was happy with it. All in all, I did get some sleep. Kind of broken up. I woke up every couple of hours just to, I don't know, reposition and stuff like that, but all in all, it did okay. I was fine. But we're kind of up against a time crunch. There is rain coming, so I've got to get camp all tidied up and packed up, and let's get out of here before it comes a heavy rain. We've been lucky. Last night it did sprinkle a couple times throughout the night, but nothing that amounted to much. It rained a little bit for just a few minutes, and I thought it was going to come on down, but it just petered out and stopped. We can't do anything before we get us a cup of coffee. So, had just a little bit of coals left this morning, and so I was able to get them back going enough to get me a cup of hot water. Got my Cafe Bustelo, and this morning I have got a treat. My beautiful wife packed me some creamer, so she was being sweet to me and packed me up a extra little thing for my coffee. So I got me some creamer for my coffee this morning. Them dang sandhill cranes started last night about 11:30, and they started making that noise for about an hour and a half, non-stop. I have got stuff all over me. Ashes and whatnot. That's okay. I got a little bit of water here for coffee. I'm saving the rest of my water to put out the campfire. Make sure all that's safed up. So, steal a little of it for my coffee. I could go get some more water if I have to, but it's a pretty good hike through there. I don't know, maybe 300-400 yards to get the water. So if I don't have to, I won't. But if I need to, I will. Coffee. Oh. Now I can get my morning started. Feel like I got a little life in me now. I enjoyed this little setup, but yep, I just felt a sprinkle. Time to get wrapped up. Uh-oh. May have waited too late. Alright guys, so we haven't quite missed the rain. It's been sprinkling on and off, but it's coming, so it's going to meet us somewhere between here and the car, I'm pretty sure. So I went ahead and put the poncho on over the pack. I had a really good time. I know it was just an overnighter, it wasn't a super long trip, but it was fun. I really enjoyed myself. Don't do a lot of bushcrafting. I know this wasn't like a ton of bushcrafting, but it had a little bushcrafty feel to it, and I really enjoyed myself. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it that big thumbs up for me. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. You can follow us on Instagram and on Facebook. If you're inclined to, you can drop down in the description and click on our Patreon link or our PayPal if you would like to help support the channel. And I appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate all you do. We'll see you next week. Thanks for watching, guys. Well, that looks pretty fresh this morning. It's still dry, and we have had some sprinkles, so it looks like Mr. Yogi Bear has been right here looking for some grubs. We are back.